What's up, guys? This week I tested out the Skullcandy Icon 180 on-ear headphones, and I got a lot to say. But before we jump in, I want to talk about this middle range value on-ear headphone market. It's pretty good right now, okay? You have a ton of options to choose from. Depending on what brand you like, depending on what features are most important to you, you do have your pick. But I wanted to talk to you about these Icon 180s because they are like right in the middle of like a really good value, a ton of features, and guys, I think they look pretty cool too. So I think these fit right in the middle of the range, really good value for the features you are getting. Guys, let's jump in. How do they look, how do they feel, and how do they sound? Well, guys, they look like this on. Actually really am digging the look. I picked up this white colorway. Yeah, guys, I actually do think these look really nice for on-ear headphones. You do have the Skullcandy logo right there. Yeah, guys, I think they look pretty nice. Next, guys, how do they feel? Well, look, I got a pretty big noggin, okay? And these fully extended are reaching exactly where they need to be on me, right? And matter of fact, I do need to like adjust them a little bit, but they feel pretty good for me. Now I got a big noggin. If you have a bigger noggin than mine, these may be just like a little bit on the smaller side. Now I did my research online and some people were saying that the clamp on these was like a little bit too much. And maybe they don't know what on-ear headphones feel like, but they're technically supposed to clamp you a little bit harder, right? Because essentially these are going right on your ear and they need to make a really good connection for the sound to essentially travel through, right? So I didn't feel that the clamp was too much. I actually thought that the clamp was just right for me. But speaking of the on-ear headphones, these actually had some really nice soft cushions right here. And we got a little bit of cushion up here, okay? I'm used to definitely a lot more, but look, it worked for me, okay? Check this out. Boom. Yeah, overall for me, I think these felt pretty nice. I like that they're so lightweight too, guys. Super, super lightweight. Next, guys, and more importantly, how did these sound? Well, guys, I gotta tell you, right out of the box, I was a little bit worried, right? Because I was listening to some music and I was like, oh, these sound pretty good, right? I mean, like they could sound a little better. And then I remembered, yes, these connect to the Skullcandy application. And I want to show you what that looks like. Hold on. Okay, guys, so now we're inside of the Skullcandy application. And here's the thing. Once I was able to basically fine tune the equalizer, these went from like pretty good to phenomenal, okay? Like that is how good this application is. You can fine tune exactly what you want these to sound like for whatever music you're playing, right? I actually went into the custom setting and created my own custom equalizer. High bass and high treble are exactly what I need for the music I listen to. Now, you're also able to control a couple other things like game mode as well as multi-point pairing, which we'll talk about in a minute. But guys, overall, super simple application to use. You do have some pre-built equalizers. I went in though and did my own custom. And like I said, that's where these went from good sounding to amazing sounding, okay? These get loud. They had really good highs, really good mids. And guys, when I went into the application and fine-tuned the equalizer, really good bass. Now, overall, good sounding pair of headphones. Now, a couple of features that do set these apart from some of the other players in the market. Number one, these are getting about a 50-hour playtime. Guys, that is a lot. You technically, if you do a lot of listening, are probably gonna get away with charging these about once a week. And that's if you're a heavy listener, okay? Now, that is pretty great. There's also a really cool feature in here. If you just charge these for 10 minutes, you get an extra 4 hours of playtime, which you have that super smart fast charging on these, which I think is really nice. Next, these are sweat and water resistant, meaning, guys, you can wear these to the gym. I see a lot of people wearing on-ear headphones over their like hoodies. So I could definitely see why these being sweat proof is really important. And like, look, if you get caught in the rain, these are going to be okay. Lastly, guys, these have multi-point connection and that you saw inside of the application. You can actually set these to be connected to your phone as well as connected to your laptop at the same time. So if you're working on your laptop and a phone call comes in, you can basically switch to the phone call without ever having to do anything extra or swapping out earbuds or whatever, right? So that multi-point connection is really great on these. Overall, guys, if you are looking for a really good, budget-friendly, value, mid-range, on-ear headphones, guys, these are the Skullcandy Icon 180s, and these are an absolute 2 thumbs up. Like I said, this market is really competitive right now. There are a ton of players playing in this price range, but these, guys, are a really, really good value and a really good choice. Trust me on this. Tino Reviews, 2 thumbs up. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll catch you guys on the next one.